Sorry, Janari. Sorry.
I'm leading, I'm leaking. I'm leading, I'm leaking. Hey. I'm leading, I'm leaking. I'm leading, I'm leaking.
What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I am your host, Alex Leak, and we got a great one in store for you today. It's the 2021 Week 1 Cleveland Browns at the Kansas City Chiefs recap episode. The Browns going into Arrowhead, a rematch of the divisional round in the 2020 playoffs. Baker Mayfield and the Browns at Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I picked the Chiefs in this game because of looking at Patrick Mahomes' September stats. They're unreal. He's never lost. 10-0 and 32 touchdowns versus 0 interceptions. Plus, this game's in Arrowhead with the crowd in full throat, packed stadium. You know it's going to be loud as hell. I had a hard time seeing the Browns even being competitive in this game, going into that atmosphere. But Cleveland did a good job making me eat my words, making me shut the hell up. And it was a game of the week. Hell of a game. Best game on the schedule. A lot of fun to watch. People were like convinced the Browns were going to win this game at halftime. And it was just a hell of a game, back and forth, lots of fun. So let's get into it. The inactives for this game for the Chiefs: no corner, DeAndre Baker. No safety, Tyrann Mathieu, is huge loss for this game. And no defensive end, Frank Clark, another big loss. And for the Browns, no star wide receiver, Odell Beckham Jr., and no safety, Grant Delpit. So let's get into it. Opening drive for the Browns. They march right down the field and cap off their opening drive with a 6-yard touchdown run by running back Nick Chubb. They even go for 2, and running back Kareem Hunt punches it in. And so the Browns come out super aggressive, march right down the field, and go up 8-0, a statement drive to start the 2021 season in Arrowhead. But that's kind of like the mentality you need to have to go in and beat the Chiefs. No fear, just attack, like System of a Down would say. The Chiefs' opening drive stalls after a holding penalty by guard Joe Thuney, and they have to settle for a 28-yard field goal. Harrison Butker makes it, and it's 8-3 Cleveland. The Browns come down, the next play of the second possession, the first play, second possession, Baker Mayfield connects on a deep shot to rookie wide receiver Anthony Schwartz out of Auburn for 44 yards. Look for him to be very impactful this year with the Browns. Browns go for it on 4th and 1 at the Chiefs' 5-yard line. I thought this is where you can get too aggressive for your own good. I would have kicked the field goal here and gone up 8. 8 is, good, go up 11-3. But Kevin Stefanski had it in his mind. He's like, look, we're not going to beat the Chiefs by settling. We have to just attack like crazy. It works out. The Chiefs were thinking they were going to go right up the middle, right at them, and the Browns trick them with a little end-around type, handoff to wide receiver Jarvis Landry, who gets outside the box and goes for a 5-yard touchdown. Browns just kicked the extra point this time, and they're up 15-3. I'm surprised they didn't go for 2 again. Like, I don't understand. What's the difference between kicking the extra point or going for 2? If you go for 2 the first time, get up 16-3. Keep going for it. They kick it this time. They're up 15-3. Still a great start for the Browns. Patrick Mahomes looks in mid-season form to start this game. Fires a dime ball to Tyreek Hill for 22 yards and then rushes for a 5-yard touchdown, cutting the lead down to 15-10. In my opinion, unacceptable job by the Browns defense here to allow Mahomes to drop back as far as he did and then run all the way in for a 5-yard touchdown. Somebody on that defense has got to get to Mahomes and put a hit on him. Somebody has to. I'm tired of seeing Mahomes run in for these touchdowns without getting touched, and he's running through a crowd. And it's just people get hands on him, but nobody bodies him. Nobody puts a shoulder into him. You got to hit him, man. You can't let Mahomes just waltz in for a touchdown. There's got to be more fight out of your defense. The Browns got, exposed there. And Mahomes runs it in, cuts it down to a 5-point lead. But the Browns on offense to start this game were nearly unstoppable. They were not only marching down the field and couldn't be stopped, but they were running the ball and taking time off the clock and shortening the game, dominating time of possession. Nick Chubb running straight through this defense. Major impact not having Frank Clark and Tyrann Mathieu. Nick Chubb goes for an 18-yard touchdown run, untouched on his way into the end zone, and Cleveland takes a 22-10 lead. 3 straight drives to open the game for the Browns, all resulting in touchdowns. And that's the recipe for beating Mahomes. Be high percentage with your drive, score every time, and take time off the possession, shorten the game, to dominate time of possession. Cleveland defense steps up before halftime, forces the first punt of the game, and Browns controlling all the momentum going into halftime. It would have been really impactful here if the Browns had scored again before halftime. They were aggressive as hell. Mayfield fires a 43-yard pass to tight end David Njoku, but the drive stalls after an offensive holding call and then a sack by defensive end Chris Jones to take him out of field goal range. Browns with one last-ditch effort before halftime with multiple laterals. They get the ball down to the Kansas City 11-yard line, but the Chiefs keep them out of the end zone, so no more points. That would have been huge if they got another touchdown before halftime. But, all that being said, the Browns lead 22-10 at halftime. A lot of fans were really hype about the Browns at this point, thinking they could pull this off. And anytime you hold the Chiefs to 10 points in the first half, you're doing something right for sure. So they needed to keep that same attack, same mindset in the second half, and keep Mahomes and the Chiefs off the field, limit their possessions. Chiefs get the ball to start the second half and march down the field a 14-play drive. Mahomes' 11-yard touchdown pass to tight end Travis Kelce, exactly what the Chiefs needed to start the second half, and they cut the lead down to 22-17. Browns come out with the same recipe, come out running, feeding Nick Chubb, 3 straight runs. They're moving the ball, rushes of 6 yards, 17 yards, another chunk run, but then a costly fumble by Nick Chubb on the third carry, recovered by Chiefs linebacker Ben Neiman. Huge turnover, and just like that, after the Chiefs drive down, get a touchdown, and then get a takeaway, momentum has swung in a big way back in the Chiefs' favor. Chiefs drive down. A huge sack by Browns defensive end Joe Jackson forces the Chiefs into 3rd and long, and they're forced to settle for a 43-yard field goal. Harrison Butker drills it, and it's 22-20 Browns. Baker Mayfield with a big-time 30-yard throw to David Njoku again, sets up Kareem Hunt with a 2-yard touchdown run, and the Browns, to their credit, come right back at him and go up by 9, in the fourth quarter. And this was where a lot of people, even Tony Romo, was like, damn, Cleveland's in perfect position to come in here and steal a big road win. It would be one of the biggest wins, in Browns history, or at least in a long time. But here's where the Browns start to implode. They're up 9, right? And the Chiefs get the ball, and one play, all they need is one play. Patrick Mahomes fires a 75-yard catch and run touchdown to Tyreek Hill, and the Chiefs cut, now it's 29-27, just like that. But my beef with this play is that's terrible defensive effort by safety John Johnson III. The safety play here in coverage, this is reminiscent of the Bears what the Bears do later that night on Sunday Night Football. Just terrible effort and out of position. You can't do this. You can't give up these kind of massive plays and beat the Chiefs. The Browns had done a great job on defense to this point, and it was this play that swung the momentum in a major way. You had just come down and gone up 9. Your offense had been playing great all game. This was a terrible defensive letdown by the Browns, and John Johnson's got to do better. He was lost in coverage. He had his head turned around, didn't know the ball was even coming, and out of position. Tyreek Hill makes the catch, and John Johnson's not in position to make the tackle. And he's the last line of defense. You got to do better. Got to do better. So that was the beginning of the implosion. And that's not even the worst part. Chris Jones comes in, gets his second sack. And then on third and, I believe it was like 3rd and 13, Mayfield buying time in the pocket. He's got an open David Njoku. He's got him. He's going to convert a 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14. But for whatever reason, Mayfield underthrows him, skips the ball in off the ground, incomplete, and they got a punt. That's not the worst part either. Punter Jamie Gillen fumbles the snap on the punt, is tackled, and turnover on downs. A huge mistake by punter Jamie Gillen. And this is what we see with the home crowd back, all that loud noise, beating down on the players on the field. And it was like the pressure got to Jamie Gillen. He had a brain fart, pressure burst pipes, man. And he couldn't get he fumbled the snap, couldn't get the punt off. And just like that, Cleveland hands the ball back to the Chiefs at the Cleveland 15-yard line. As Charles Barkley would say, that's terrible. That's terrible, man. You're not going to win any football with that sequence right there. Touchdown, 3 and out, fumbled snap on the punt. Give it to the Chiefs, the 15-yard line. Game over right there, honestly. Mahomes fires an 8-yard touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, and it gives the Chiefs their first lead of the game. 33-29. They try for the 2-point conversion, don't get it. So they're up 4, 33-29. Here's where I tweeted at this point in the game. I said, it's gut check time for the Browns. This is where we see what Baker Mayfield's got. Can he lead the Browns on a clutch touchdown drive in Arrowhead in a ridiculous road atmosphere? This is something that I look for in any up-and-coming star quarterback. Can he do this in this atmosphere? This is where you ask yourself, can Tom Brady do it? Can Peyton Manning do it? Can Big Ben Roethlisberger do it? Could Aaron Rodgers do it? These are the moments. These are the opportunities to make a name for yourself. Patrick Mahomes has done shit like this before. So it was a big test for Baker Mayfield. And to his credit, Baker Mayfield hits rookie wide receiver Anthony Schwartz in the hands on 3rd down. Good throw, but a great defensive play, a better defensive play by safety Juan Thornhill to break it up. And the Browns go 3 and out. Not ideal. All the momentum now is 100% in the Chiefs' favor. So they punt it away. And that should be the game. Usually at that point, you give the ball back to Mahomes and this Chiefs offense. They're not giving it back. They're at least getting 3 and up 7. And they're most likely going to go march down and score a touchdown and give it back to you down 2 scores with like a minute and a half or 2 minutes left. Instead, the Browns' defensive star, Myles Garrett, comes through on 3rd and 10 near midfield, comes through with the play, monster play for the Browns. Beats the tackle and gets a huge sack on Patrick Mahomes on 3rd and 10. Big-ass defensive play by Myles Garrett. That's why Myles Garrett is worth it, for that type of play right there. So the defense steps up, Myles Garrett steps up, and by some miracle, they give Baker Mayfield one more shot at it. So he gets 2 opportunities here to be the hero. They start moving the ball. A nice screen pass to Kareem Hunt. They get up near midfield. they're moving, and everyone in the country is watching this game right here. They're watching to see, can Baker Mayfield do it? Lead the Browns on a game-winning drive in Arrowhead. The pressure's on. It doesn't get any more pressure than this. And this is where a big play by Chiefs safety Daniel Sorensen gets pressure on Baker Mayfield, gets him around the ankles as he's releasing a pass towards the sideline. The Sorensen pressure forces Mayfield to throw short. Whether he was throwing it to the receiver or throwing it out of bounds, I'm not sure. The pass is short. The pass is intercepted by Chiefs corner Mike Hughes, and that's the ball game. Great defensive play by Kansas City, and great play by Mike Hughes to seal the game. Baker Mayfield can't believe his mistake as he pounds the field in frustration. And it's a hard lesson to learn, and maybe that right there, that hurt, will stay with him all season long. And if we get a potential rematch in January, maybe Baker Mayfield has a chance to redeem himself on even a bigger stage. This loss and that interception is going to eat at Baker Mayfield, and we'll see if it drives him to overcome these these come up short performances, because he needs that little bit extra. He's got to protect the ball in that situation. I'm not sure if it was a bad read forcing that ball or if he was trying to throw it out of bounds. Either way, it doesn't matter. Mayfield has to be bottom line here. Mayfield has to be more careful with the football in that situation. You cannot throw a pick there, and that it's the game. You just can't. If you're throwing the ball out of bounds there, you got to throw it. You got to put more arm on it. You got to make sure that ball, you got to throw it into the upper deck. You got to put, we've seen Baker Mayfield throw the ball 70, 80 yards before. He's got to put that kind of mustard on it to get it out of bounds. In that situation, you can't cut it close in any way. To me, I'm not trying to hate. To me, it looked like he was trying to make that throw to the receiver. And if he was, I don't care if Sorensen's got the pressure on his ankles or not. That's a reckless decision. That's a bad decision to throw that ball to that area, to that receiver. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was throwing it out of bounds. You just got to put more zip on that ball, more arm into that ball. You can't throw it short there and have it picked off, bottom line. But huge win for the Chiefs, comeback win at home over the Browns. Patrick Mahomes keeps his perfect record in September alive. He improves to 11-0, throws for 337 yards and 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. So he's now thrown in the month of September for his career 35 touchdowns, 0 picks. Mahomes is ridiculous. Unreal. I don't know if we've seen anything like Patrick Mahomes before. Running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire held to just 14 rushes and 43 yards, but also has 3 catches for 29 yards, 72 yards combined. Tyreek Hill goes off in the opener. 11 catches for 197 yards and a touchdown. Travis Kelce records 6 catches for 76 yards and 2 touchdowns. And defensive end Chris Jones comes through big, earning all that money with 2 sacks, 2 big-time sacks in this game. And kicker Harrison Butker, perfect on the day, 2 for 2 field goals, 3 for 3 extra points. For the Browns, Baker Mayfield, 21 of 28 for 321 yards and a pick. Costly pick that it was. Running back Nick Chubb, 15 rushes for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns, but a costly fumble loss. Kareem Hunt, 6 rushes for 33 yards and a touchdown, and 3 catches for 28 yards. Jarvis Landry, 5 catches for 71 yards, and 2 rushes for 13 yards and a touchdown. And tight end David Njoku, I would look for him to be more involved going forward. 3 catches for 76 yards. He was getting open, and he's had some big impact plays in this game and in the past. The Browns will be happy to get Odell Beckham Jr. back sooner than later. He can be major impact in these games. Although there was a lot of talk last year about the Browns, potential Browns and Baker potentially playing better when Odell Beckham Jr. wasn't on the field. So we'll see how they do when he comes back. Regardless, his talent is undeniable. He's an absolute star. So they got to make it work with him. Huge comeback win for the Chiefs to start the season 1-0. Great home crowd at Arrowhead helped power the win. Mahomes and his weapons looked in mid-season form. The defense needs to play better, but getting stars Tyrann Mathieu and Frank Clark back will definitely help going forward. For the Browns, a tough loss, especially after leading by 9 points in the fourth quarter. But they can learn from this early season loss. A lot of football left to go, and use it as motivation. And, get to the playoffs and potentially set up a playoff rematch. That's what we all want to see. For the Browns, they'll host the 1-0 Texans next week. Great opportunity for the Browns to get back to 500, get a nice win in their home opener in week 2. And for the Chiefs, they'll go on the road to Baltimore for Sunday Night Football prime time for a Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson matchup. And opportunity for the Chiefs to send the Ravens to 0-2. Ravens suffer a heartbreaking loss in Vegas on Monday night. The Ravens are beat up at the running back position. No Marcus Peters. A lot of, stuff to overcome there in Baltimore. So I see no reason why the Chiefs can't go into Baltimore and get to 2-0 and drop the Ravens to 0-2. But it's Lamar Jackson, and you never know. The defense has got to do a good job, containing Lamar, because he's a big play waiting to happen every time he drops back with that speed and that athleticism. We saw it on display on Monday night. So I can't wait for that game on Sunday Night Football. Should be a hell of a matchup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to have NFL content all season long, breaking down these games every week. We're going to have player interviews, coach interviews. I'm going to be having Eric Warfield for you Chiefs fans on soon. We'll probably have Felix Wright for you Browns fans. So stay tuned. We'll keep these episodes coming out. I really appreciate the support. And have a great week, guys. Peace out.